Electronic Arts has had the good sense to bring out a remastered version of Burnout Paradise. This is the classic Criterion game that came out for the PS3 and Xbox 360 and the PC, which you can actually play in 4K if you've got the machine to handle it. But this is a 4K-friendly version of Burnout Paradise. Of course, it will play on the Xbox One, the regular one, and the regular PlayStation 4. But if you want to see this thing in all of its 4K and 60 frames per second glory, you need to check this thing out on the Xbox One X and the PlayStation 4 Pro. There's a lot of names to remember now with all these machines. And I can tell you, I now possess Burnout Paradise at least 5 times. And it's sort of in contention with Super Metroid and Earthbound for how many versions of a game I can have. I got the PlayStation 4 Pro code, or the PS4 code from EA, and I loaded that up instantly. I played it on EP Live a few days ago. Had a lot of fun jumping right back in. But in my mind's eye, it didn't look... You know, I played it on a regular PlayStation 4, and when I saw it, I was like, well, this kind of looks like I remember Burnout Paradise looking. And when I played it on the PS4 Pro, I was like, wow, this does look really, really nice. But the cool thing is that Xbox had a Games with Gold thing going on with the original Burnout Paradise for 360. You could just download that for free, and so I didn't have to go and find the disc. I just downloaded it, and I got a chance to do a little head-to-head comparison between the 360 version of Paradise, which still looks pretty good, against the PS4 Pro, which looks way better. It kicked its total ass. But then I did one other thing. I checked out the Digital Foundry deep dive into the 4K remastering of Burnout Paradise. And man, those people do God's work. I feel so dumb when I watch the videos from Digital Foundry. They just went into all the filtering and all the anti-aliasing technologies and the texture details and the blurring effects. It's too much for my little pea brain to handle. But it was it was very cool. But what they focused on was the EA Access release of Burnout Paradise Remastered, because it came out a little earlier, and they hadn't played the PS4 Pro one, and I was like, God, I need to see what this looks like on the X. So I downloaded the X version, and I did a straight head-to-head, and the X takes it by a country mile. It's not that the PS4 Pro version looks bad. I had to kind of adjust the brightness and the contrast to make it look a little sweeter. It was a little too dark and weirdly saturated, so I adjusted that, played this all on an OLED screen, and it looked great, but I really wanted to see how the 4K 60 frames per second handled on the Xbox One X, and holy crap, is it sweet. Everything is beautiful and rock solid. You can read all the signs super clearly from a mile away. The speed, the sensation of crashing, all of that stuff, it's fully realized in both the PS4 Pro and Xbox One X. Don't mistake this for me saying the PS4 Pro version of Burnout Paradise Remastered is a dog, because it's not. It's amazing. And I actually got a little more accustomed to playing it on the DualShock 4 controller, so it felt weird to jump over to the Xbox One and have that same... It's just, when you're jumping between consoles, sometimes you just get accustomed to one thing. And I'd already plowed through 100 of those yellow signs and found shortcuts and stuff on the PS4 Pro version. Is that how you play Burnout Paradise? Every billboard and every yellow sign is what I go and hunt for first, before I activate the brake and the gas and jump into the burning routes and the races and the takedowns. And holy crap, is this game fun. If you've never played Burnout Paradise, I have so much envy for you, because you're about to play something that is out of this world, addictive and fun and engaging. It was great to hear DJ Atomica's voice. It was great to hear the old cool music, blasting through, because it has the soundtrack from the original game. And I just was instantly hooked and transported back to that sort of moment of elation. And the thought occurred to me is that EA brought this game out kind of for us. You know what I'm saying? Like the people that have been lifers, that have been playing games for a long time, that are a little bit sort of worried about what the state of the business is. Is everything never going to have an ending? Is everything going to be kind of microtransaction to death? Are we just playing games as service forever now? And then this comes out, and it's a total shock. And, EA execs have gone on record before. Peter Moore, I'm talking to you, buddy. Miss you, pal. Saying that, we don't do remasters, we're moving forward and all that stuff. But, God, there are so many games. You guys see me talking about great EA games from the back catalog. So many games that EA has that should absolutely get this kind of level of attention and detail. I would say let's kick it up a notch, even better, because the Blue Point remaster of Shadow of the Colossus that sort of set the bar. You gotta, I mean, and that was a big deal. That was almost like going in and redoing so much of the game, and they didn't quite do that with this remaster, although the textures are there, the unbelievable sort of anti-aliasing and fidelity in there. It's just gorgeous. And they added like kick you in the ass bass effects every time you press the boost button. The one other weird thing about this is that there's so much of the DLC. I think almost all of the DLC is unlocked, if not all of the DLC. So you get all the awesome cars. So right away, I went for the DeLorean-ish. And so I'm hovering and flying, and I just felt so fast and kind of invincible. I was knocking down the gates and knocking down the challenges pretty quickly. I loved what Criterion did, though, with the taking your picture with the camera and sticking it on your license and stuff. There's so many great, clever hooks in here. I'm going to be playing Burnout Paradise probably for the rest of my life, like you guys. It's so addictive. I'll buy it on the PS5. I'll buy it on the Xbox One, 2, or whatever they're going to call it. I said on EP Live that I don't know if it's really worth it if you already own it. It's worth it. It's worth it. Not only is it way better looking and just it feels incredible and all the online stuff is all updated and all that, but it's also a great show of support for quality games being brought back in an excellent way like this. And if you have the Xbox One X or the PlayStation 4 Pro, this has got must-buy written all over for it. If you have both, get the X version. I love this game. It's amazing to go back to it. Would love 3 and 4 remastered if you're listening, EA and Criterion. I'm going to give Burnout Paradise Remastered a 9 out of 10.